Oh, there it is.
All right, Crow. So it's just
Yeah.
you and me.
Yeah, I guess so. Everybody didn't want to talk about Intellivision anymore.
Yeah, they just ran away.
Yeah.
All right. You know what? Let's get into this. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Evercast, your weekly dose of Evercade goodness. I'm one of your hosts, Rich, here, hanging out with Crow. What's going on, man?
I don't know. I meant to be prepared, and all of a sudden I'm not prepared. So, okay, here we go.
Hi, everybody!
See, there you go. I was like, oh, wait, I'm not on the right page.
Nice. So how's everyone going? How's everyone doing this fine weekend? We got some people in the chat always. We've got Jason Shires here in the chat. We got Lloyd R. Jim. We got Karsten. And we got Fan and Fiction. What's going on? What's going on, guys? It is a happy Saturday. We got a cool show for you today. We got some speculation in our news segments. We got some Intellivision 2, which seems to be scaring away yet another cast member to talk about. We're still on that top row. Motocross, Super Broski, and Reversey today. I don't know if there's if it's like hot banger time or not, but it's something. We're gonna talk about games.
Yes, no. That's what I'll say.
It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time. So we'll say hi to Dave is in the house. What's going on? It's Skeletrex. What's up? RMGB TV starting on time. What's up with that? Yeah, you know what? When it's sometimes when I get back in the seat and it's it's time to host again, I gotta surprise you guys. So here we are. Ready to rock.
There's not two other people like right before the show starts.
Yeah, we don't have this big
starting
happening.
New conversations right when we're supposed to be starting.
That is true. That is very true. That is very true. And Lamini Pie, what's going on? This is the first time I noticed actually, Lamini, that you have a Mikey on your avatar. Yeah, that's cool. My son would be very, very happy. He loves he loves turtles, and Mikey's his favorite.
Image of the turtle looks like he ate something delicious.
Yeah, well, that means he's just like, I just got my pizza on. That's it, right? So here, let me hit this door real quick because we had an invasion right before. So
an invasion.
Yes.
An invasion of the body snatchers.
All right, there we go. We're good. Danny C is right on point, right into the segue into news and speculation. First Amiga collection being revealed next week. That is 100% true.
Oh, is it? That must have been in the Discord or something.
Yeah, they definitely put it out. I think it was the Discord, and I want to say they put it out in the official Facebook group as well. There was a little bit of a post somewhere around there. It was floating around. Somebody reposted it or something happened.
I don't think I've been on Facebook in like 2 years. I wonder how long it'll be before they deactivate my account.
I think they just let you go for a while.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's one of those things.
I'm happier for not checking Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's wild. My wall is just a mess. Most of it's ads, and then
what's funny is the ads were the thing I liked the most about it because that's how I found out about a lot of stuff like premium edition games. I would have known about them if it wasn't for the Facebook ads.
I never get good ads. Like all my ads are like don't know what it is.
So,
I don't know what the algorithm is or what kind of thing they're looking on my phone. But I got things like household items and all that. I was like, I don't want to eat any of this.
yeah, for me it was like all video game stuff.
Give me the
mostly.
cool stuff.
But the thing was, it's like, well, if I stop looking at it, then it's going to save me money because I'm not going to be spending it on stuff I see on Facebook.
That is true. That is true. So right before we hit up this list that I pulled up, how was the week in gaming? Did you play anything cool?
I actually was focused on getting at least one video out for Pinball Effects, and I did. So I got the Addams Family table out. I also did finish playing all the games in the IREM Arcade 1 collection.
Awesome.
So
very cool.
I'm right on the verge of actually starting to make a video for that.
Very cool.
I'm it's going to take me forever to actually get through everything I need to get through for Pinball Effects because it took me 2 weeks to make a video for one table.
Wow.
And there's 80 tables in there.
Oh wow, that's crazy. That's crazy.
And they're going to keep putting out more, so I'm never going to catch up. But I'm not in any particular hurry. I guess just like I am with the Evercade stuff.
Yeah. I mean, just kind of take it in as a as you have the time, and you get to enjoy it and all that, which is good.
Plus then it's there's times where I just want to play something completely different. So I've been actually I was playing. I got the challenge for what was the game? I can't remember the game I was playing now. But then I moved on to this one, Rain on Your Parade.
Oh, okay.
And it only took me 2 hours to get a challenge patch I needed for this one. So I got that both already posted and coming my way. Now, it's really bothering me that I can't remember what the game was that I just played. And I've been playing, Wonderling DX.
Oh, okay, cool.
For whatever reason, that took many hours to get the chat. I basically have to beat the game in order to get, and then find something secret in order to get the patch for that one. That one is just find a cat on the overworld. And I was pretty much done and screwing around, and I accidentally found the cat. And I was like, oh, there it is.
Nice. That's pretty awesome. Yeah,
I just have so many things that I, on Steam and stuff that I just, let's try something different. That's, that and Loop Hero. I keep playing Loop Hero for some reason.
Very cool. Very cool. I've been in one of those scenarios yet again where, work life is just kind of eating me alive. In fact, the only thing that is anywhere close to gaming related is that thing I was showing you backstage.
Yes,
I got into that.
Itself.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I like games that play themselves.
Yes, you got that whole clicker action. I was playing Street Fighter Duel on the phone because I like flashy things and play games that play themselves because I don't have time. So that was cool.
I was showing Rich this. I got this game playing itself right now on my phone.
Yes.
Yes. Anti-dimensions, antimatter universe. That's what.
Yes.
Antimatter dimensions. That's what it's called.
Antimatter dimensions. Yes. So I'll be having to check that one out as well later on. But yeah, I did almost get a tease though. On the Atari VCS side of things, somebody came out and was like, "Oh, hey, we're gonna put out this really awesome beat 'em up on Atari VCS." I'm like, "Oh, sweet! Is it gonna be on this Friday?" And I was waiting, and then they just announced no, it's official, it's coming soon. I'm like, "Oh."
Is that exclusive to the VCS, or is it just?
It's probably going to be on Steam and other things as well. Yeah. But they were announcing the fact that it was coming to VCS, and as a VCS owner, you could just get excited for literally any game that it gets announced. So,
I guess I'm a little different because I'm wondering if there's anything on there that's just exclusive to the VCS that I.
Yeah, only modes.
Yes, only modes, and in those Atari, what are they called? The recharged, the recharged games.
That's right.
So I got most of them. I don't have all of them though. I should probably turn that back on. Sometime. So
I have been hearing murmurs that some indie developers may actually be creating titles and putting them out there first, kind of as a little splash, trying to get the community started. They've been trying to do some outreach in that sense, and I'm like, well, I'm all about it. And it's possible that this one, it's from like a Polish indie developer, this beat 'em up. I can't remember the name for the life of me. It's like two names and then a byline or something like that.
But you know what? That's actually an interesting way to go about it, because if you just throw it on Steam, it's just going to get buried underneath like hundreds of other things that are coming out at the same time. But if you put it out the VCS, people are going to say, "Hey, this thing is on the VCS, and there's not so much new stuff coming out on there."
Exactly.
So it's actually an interesting way to do it.
Yeah, you could get like a reverse tail going on. Where you get the big hit because people are like, "Oh, this thing is only available on the VCS," and you get a little, like all the chatter for people like myself and like people who cover, Atari VCS, Ballistic, and like all that kind of thing. And then you'll have like the other tail, right? Now you can release it on the other systems, and then people actually know what the game is. So that could be something that would work.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, you at least get somebody talking about the game rather than just having the instantly buried and maybe discovered sometime in the future.
Exactly. Well, I mean, and bringing it back to Evercade, because that's what we are here to talk about today. Of course, sometimes on the Indie Heroes collections, that's exactly what happens for some of these developers too. Like, they have their games on Steam, they have physical product already or whatever. But I pick it up on Indie Heroes or Indie Heroes 2, and you're like, oh, this game's really awesome. And then you wind up finding out a little more about the developer. Maybe they got other games. You go and play them, that kind of thing. Yeah. So, yeah,
exactly.
It's pretty cool. So
if it's included in a collection, guaranteed somebody's going to talk about it.
Exactly. So, Kid Guzzy's here to say happy Saturday. What's going on? Is that
it looks like a bouquet. A Fairchild. Where are you looking?
In his on his
in his profile. Yeah, that looks like no, you know what? That's maybe a Bally Astrocade.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, no. Or it's a Bally Astrocade or a Fairchild. No, I'm pretty sure it's an Astrocade.
Huh. That's cool. That's a neat one. For sure. Polygon Treehouse, happy weekend. Hey, how's it going? Welcome in. Robert. Yeah, we are having a pretty good day so far. At least I am, hanging in there. And now it's time to it is an Astrocade. Oh, cool.
Yes, not a Videocade, an Astrocade.
Nice.
It's the same thing.
Yes.
They renamed it like 3 times.
Yeah.
Same thing.
And now it's time to dip in to a little bit of that Evercade news.
He's saying this is the Bally computer system.
Mine is bad as Bally computers. Nice. Very cool. So, hey, what's up, Snake Eater? What's going on? So yeah, the news was that, of course, we're going to get that Amiga cart announcement next week. And we don't know exactly what's going to be on the cart, but I figured let's play a little speculation game. So we know that there are some products that are Amiga related that have come out, just like C64, right? There was a console that came with a whole bunch of bundled in games, and some of those games wound up on C64 Collection 1 and 2, and some of them didn't. So
but you know what? Those games, I don't know exactly. I can't remember exactly which ones. There were 64 of them, and I think 65 of them if you update it. But it's been such a long time since I put it in, and let alone put it in and play the games that came on it.
Right.
I seem to recall that most of them were Epix and Usen, which are the same owners of the ones that came out for both the Commodore 64 collection. So I don't know if there's a similarity between that and the Amiga collection. Somebody said Epix games for Amiga, but I don't know. Did Epix have a lot of games on Amiga?
I mean, I'm not really familiar with Amiga world at all.
Okay.
Really.
Yeah, I'm not
sure. This is like a total discovery point for me, because I don't, except for a buddy of mine who grew up in England and had an Amiga. That's the only exposure that I've had to like Amiga stuff, and that didn't come till way later.
I've actually never even encountered anybody that had an Amiga. I just would occasionally hear about it. At the same time, I had like a 386 PC or 286. I don't remember the time frame of that, but I just hear about it. But I never knew anybody that actually owned one. I still don't know anybody that actually owns one.
Yeah.
But I bought that mini Amiga just out of curiosity, and I kind of went through it like a little bit, but I never even really got into it.
Mm. So RMGB TV right here has he said I'm going to make an educated guess, and by looking at what was on the Amiga Mini and predict Team 17, that might be something that will happen, because we do have some Team 17 action already on Evercade. So
and I can't see it not having worms. You got to have worms, because that's where worms originated, was the
right?
Amiga. But also, I would say like Cinemaware, because I would think that they kind of originated on the Amiga as well, and a lot of the games a lot of people think about with the Amiga, were Cinemaware games, I believe.
Yeah. So let's get into it with the list. Phantom saying they had 21 games for the Amiga. I'm imagining it's like the Amiga Mini is what he's talking about.
Maybe I have
the A500 or whatever it was.
Maybe I should plug it in.
Yeah. Well, here is, I found a list from gamingretro.co.uk. This is all of the A500 mini games in a list.
Okay.
With some cool, at least artwork or whatever. I mean, I know they're YouTube videos, but I won't play them in case we want to, I don't want somebody to take down a stream or something. So we'll look at the cool thumbnails here. But the first game, Alien Breed 3D. Now this one I think is on a lot of people's lists, right? They did want to see this game, or any game in that set on an Amiga collection. I think it's possible. I think that's a possibility.
I don't even know anything about this game. I probably never even booted it up when I plugged in that Amiga that one day. So I have no idea what this game is.
Well, let's see if we go down to Alien Breed Special Edition 92. It definitely looks like one of those top-down, like dungeon crawly kind of things.
Shoot 'em up, top down, kind of reminds me of Loaded on the PlayStation.
Yep. Or like even like a sci-fi version of this almost looks like a sci-fi version of a lot of those other isometric or top-down games that we've had on already.
But you know what? Alien Breed 3D doesn't look like this. I bet you it's like a Duke Nukem or a Doom style game, because it says 3D.
Wait, you know what? Let me see.
It is a first-person shooter, and it's Team 17. Interesting.
Let me mute it and see if it like if I won't get in trouble. Maybe there's no audio.
Because I just started looking up screenshots of it.
Here we go.
That's not muted.
No,
it's not. I can hear the music.
Oh, there we go. Now it should be muted. Oh, and then it is Team 17 game.
Yeah, it kind of threw me off because I saw it in a screenshot there. Yeah, I bet this is like Alien Breed was the top down. That was maybe the original, and then they made a 3D version, kind of like what they did with Duke Nukem, where Duke Nukem 1 and 2 were originally like side scrollers, and then the third one was like, oh, let's do what Doom's doing, but make it better.
Hey Dave, what's going on? Welcome in.
Basically, Doom with lines.
Doom with lines.
I don't know what
the original Alien Breed was Gauntlet with aliens.
I don't know.
Let's see what Doom with lines. Oh, Doom with aliens.
Aliens. Okay, Doom with aliens. Okay.
God. Yeah.
Man, I hate it. Like he's probably typing on his phone, because that happens to me a lot, where it'll replace one word I meant to type with something completely
with something
different.
Else. Oh yeah, this totally. Yeah, this is. Oh yeah.
And it's funny. I've never heard of this. Whenever I hear, you know what? I'm thinking of the Mac having a marathon. That's what I was thinking.
Oh, marathon. Yeah. Yep. Old Bungie title.
But yeah, I wonder what year this came out, because
it's a probably had to have been. Was it 90? Let's see if did it say it in the beginning.
Well, here let's wait. That's Alien Breed 3D. 1995.
95, huh? Okay.
Which is actually a few years after Doom.
Mm-hmm.
I think a few years. Maybe I'm thinking Doom came out. When did Doom come out? I was thinking I'm thinking Doom came out earlier than it actually did.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm all about that. would definitely I'd definitely play this.
Oh, okay. 1993 is Doom. I was thinking 92, so I was a little off, but still, this is 2 years after Doom.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not. To be honest, I'm not that interested in this. To be fair.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I don't know. Like, it's one of those things that now that I'm looking at it and I'm getting transported, right back to like my computer days where it was Wolfenstein and Duke Nukem and Doom and all that kind of stuff, Rise of the Triad and all that stuff. This would have been one of those games if I had that shareware disc, I'd put it in and just be like, oh, let's play this game, and I probably would have had a good time on it for sure. It seems weird though because it seems like so much wasted real estate on the screen.
Well, they can't.
But
you can't expand the screen. They got in order to get a decent frame rate, they had to make the screen small enough for the machine to handle it.
Right. Yeah, so it's definitely hardware limitation that's making that happen. Doom wasn't that bad though. Doom was pretty full screen, right?
Yeah, well, it depended on the specs of your PC, I guess, because you could shrink the window down as small as you wanted.
Yeah, you're right. You could do that, and then you
might be able to do the same thing here, and if you expand it, it's probably gonna tank the frame rate.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's probably locked to this though because of the HUD that's around it being fitting the screen the way it does.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I just if I wanted to play something like Doom, I'd play Doom.
Play Doom.
Or
fair enough.
Or I've had maybe I've had my fill of like Doom clones over the years because there was Duke Nukem 3D, which was really good. I remember playing Blood, which is very similar to that. They all had their own little gimmicks, but I don't know.
No, it's pretty.
Maybe I'm just not into first person shooters like I used to be long ago.
Yeah. No, I gotcha. I mean, definitely kind of cool though. To see that this might, like this was on that A500, so it might actually be something that may appear later on. Alien Breed, this is, like I said, this is the there's someone saying this was Gauntlet with aliens. Definitely looks to be the case. Let's see if I can do this again. We'll just cut the volume.
We have to mute it every time because.
Yeah, I muted the site, but it didn't mute mute the other way.
It's like, this is not come from the site. This come from YouTube.
Yeah. So.
See, this one looks a bit more interesting to me.
Yeah, this one looks like what the heck was that other one that was on Bitmap Brothers?
You're talking about
was it Chaos Engine?
The Chaos Engine.
Yeah.
But I bet this is this isn't as good as the Chaos Engine. It's this reminds me of Loaded for some reason on the PlayStation.
I could see that vibe. I could see that vibe on this one. It's cool. It's definitely neat. So I guess the game is, so Alien Breed 3D, chances of it being on the collection, I would say less than 50%, right? Where this one is probably, if they could get it, if the license was there, you could definitely see this one being on the collection for sure.
1991. I don't know. Depends on what choices they have.
For sure. So that's pretty cool. Let's.
But yeah, I could see maybe that one going over Alien Breed 3D. Another World. But did this one originate on the Amiga?
I think so. This one would be it'd be a pretty good get, right?
Yeah, especially because it wasn't just the Amiga it was on. It was because I played this on DOS way back when. It also had ports on the Super Nintendo. It was on this Genesis, I believe, with a dual pack with Heart of the Alien. Was that the Sega CD, or was that something else? I think that was Sega CD.
I want to say it was on Sega CD, but as Polygon Treehouse was saying, I think it was called something else in the US.
Yeah, it was called Out of This World. That's what it was called here.
Yep. Yep.
Why the name changed, who knows?
Yeah, exactly.
But I remember the graphics, like I was just amazed by this intro. In fact, I would just boot this up, watch the intro, and be done with it.
Right? I mean, it's pretty cool. It's pretty neat. And it still looks good for the time.
But are people going to have the patience to sit through this intro? I don't know if you could skip it.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it's neat though. I never got the chance to play through this whole thing. But I did have Out of This World on a Sega CD. And it was pretty neat.
I wonder how long it would have taken me to play through it if without any looking up anything, because that's how I played it. I can't remember how far I got, but I know it wasn't nearly even halfway through the game. I never liked the gunfighting in the game, because you had to put up a shield, walk forward a little bit so you could shoot through the shield. But the other guys had shields too, and
yeah.
And then you make one mistake and you're dead.
Yes. Yeah. This is pretty neat.
Yeah, make sure you stomp on those guys, because you got to run back over that way later. It's always funny when you don't notice one fall on your head.
Yeah. It says it's a short game once you figure out the levels. Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of exploration games wind up being that way, though. If you wind up figuring out the script, you know what I mean? Then yes, you can just run through it.
A lot of games, period, back then, were if you knew exactly what you were doing, you play through them in less than an hour, half an hour, even in some cases. But it's trying to figure out how to get through the game that gives you its length. If you just look up at exactly how to get through the game the very first time you play it, you're gonna get through it in no time.
Yep. I mean, even this though, just watching it, as simple as it all looks, it does still kind of look incredible.
Well, yeah, it's got its own
even for today.
This could have came out today, and people would have just chalked it up to, oh, this is the art style, not the limitations of the system. Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. You don't have to use much, but you can convey things that are menacing and
the most interesting thing about this game, I think, is this is a Super Nintendo version, because they were forced to make that game without any special chips added in to the cartridge, and it still wound up as good as it was.
Yeah. That's cool stuff. I mean, this would be an awesome get. I don't know if it's one of those things that can happen, but man, that would be cool to see that in the list for sure.
Who owns it?
Oh, Flashback was also really great. They didn't they do an anniversary edition of this one?
I think it was Flashback.
It was Flashback that they did. Yeah.
Well, it was funny because they did a remake of Flashback, but in the beginning of the remake, you could go to an arcade machine and play the original version.
Oh, that's cool.
Somehow the original version was still better than the remake.
Oh, wow.
That's all I remember.
Nice. So, all right. So now we've got Arcade Pool.
That's right. Interplay released that game in the US.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, that's an opportunity. There's a relationship tie right there.
I don't know if they actually own it now, but it was just they published a game in the US. It was US Gold. Delphine Software. That's who published it originally, I believe, and developed it.
Got it. Well, they did a remaster of Another World on iOS. All right.
Yeah, I believe I've heard that too. It could be on, any of these games could be on any platform now. So this is Arcade Pool.
Arcade Pool.
I can't see this one coming at all, because I could tell immediately it uses a mouse.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Translating those controls might be a little bit of a bear, or possibly make it unplayable.
Also, it doesn't seem, I don't know, I don't want to say it doesn't seem good, because I mean it could be good. I haven't played it,
Mm.
but it doesn't look engaging. I guess just by looking at it,
Right,
Just
right.
looking at this and you're like, oh, this just looks like pool. I mean, it's not
Yep.
like Side Pocket. They had East Side Pocket.
Yeah,
where you
yeah,
can see
yeah.
at least a little bit of like something else going on. But,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, this is like it definitely seems like this is all about the mechanics of the game. Like super lining up your shots, like at least ball motion and all that stuff on the table
This-
looks realistic.
to be honest, if I'm looking at this looks like a budget game to me.
Yeah, I mean, I could kind of see how it might look like that.
Again, I haven't played it. I don't, but it's just
Yeah.
the vibe I'm getting from this by
Yep.
looking at this.
Yeah, even RMGB TV agrees that it might very well have been one of those. Yeah, I don't think so.
But
and
to be fair, the the Converse 64 collection we had budget titles in it, and
That's
some
true.
of them weren't great, but some of them were pretty good. Battle Valley was a budget game, but that was actually pretty good.
Yeah, no, I like that one too. But yeah, I mean, Side Pocket, I'd play that probably over this, for sure. So this one, maybe like it's possible that you see it, but maybe you don't want to see it on the list.
Mean, you could probably convert the mouse controls to a controller where you're using the controller to point the mouse around, but unless we finally get mouse support for the Evercade, and then we could play paddle games using a mouse, maybe.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you never know about
racing.
that. All-terrain racing is the next one here.
I mean, I've never heard of this, but it sounds interesting, despite not having actually seen anything yet.
Sounds. I mean, also it's a racing game, so this also screams like, if possible, would definitely wind up on a collection. The guys over at Blaze definitely seem to love their racing titles. So if they can grab one and put it on there, I'm sure we're gonna wind up seeing something like that.
There's a battle mode.
A battle mode.
There's a second option.
Oh, yeah, arcade mode, battle mode. That'd be cool.
Jeez.
Especially if you could like local. Oh, these cars look cool.
This must be a futuristic game. It looks futuristic, like font type. Race, race. Let's see the race. Okay, top down. Okay, I'd be interested in playing. If this is on the Mini, maybe I should just actually plug the Mini in and try it. Yeah, these look like futuristic vehicles. This isn't at all what I was expecting. Like it's a racing game, but they don't look like all-terrain vehicles.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, and so here's the thing: as long as the controls are tight, I'm in. But you gotta have the controls be tight. I
might have to.
I can't play top. Yeah, I can't play top-down races without tight controls. It just can't happen. It's just But this looks fun. It's giving me all of those Micro Machines feelies. Like I like it. I'm in. Especially if we get it. That'd be exciting to get on the list for sure. For sure.
Yeah, I don't think this one would be too bad again. I haven't played it. I could play it probably, but I just haven't plugged into the A500 to play it.
Yeah, and it's a Team 17 game, so it's
is it? Okay,
yeah,
well then put it on.
Or at least they were advertising.
They should just do a Team 17 collection,
right? I mean, but it could very, very well be that if Team 17 did a whole bunch of Amiga games, that first collection could be lots of Team 17. So you see, like on the top of the whatchamacallit, on the top of the building as they go around the track, it says Team 17 on it. It's like the Team 17 building in the game. We'll wait until it goes around one more time on the track.
What is blows? What is
there? It is Team 17 right there in the building. Right
there.
Oh
yeah, they got two buildings.
Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, difficulty balancing in single player is way too hard. I mean, I guess I could deal with cheesy difficulty again as long as the controls were tight enough where, like you could learn it. And as soon as you learn the tight controls, I mean, the CPU almost becomes irrelevant as long as you can get your lines.
It's funny because you say super sprint and you say Micro Machines.
Micro Machines.
I'm thinking super sprint.
Oh yeah,
super sprint.
Right. Oh,
Although Super Sprint, you see the whole map all at once.
So this one would be cool. This would be cool to see. And I high likelihood that you might be able to see something like this. And we got Battle Chess.
I wouldn't mind seeing the Amiga version of Battle Chess, but I could see it not being on there simply because we already got the NES version on Interplay Collection.
Yeah, but this one's so much better. Like I like the like the animations on everything is like they're cool.
It's interesting. It's fun to watch like the first time, but I think a lot of people just kind of get sick of the animations after a while because they're not different. I mean, I never get tired of, but there are a lot of people who are just like, I don't. They didn't like Battle Chess on the NES because they had to sit and watch the animations every single time. But you can turn the animations off if you want, but then you're just playing a game of chess.
Yeah. No, yeah, you gotta have the. I mean, I don't mind waiting. You gotta have the animations; they're cool. But I mean,
no, go ahead. I wonder if there's something. I'm gonna look up something real quick.
But we've had like we've already talked about Battle Chess, obviously, because it's on the Interplay Collection. But it would be an okay one. If because I would see like Battle Chess Amiga would be an upgrade for me, so I'm like, okay, all right, I would do it.
I was looking up. I know there's a Battle Chess 4000. I didn't know if that was on Amiga, but I just typed it in, and it turns out it's on Steam.
Oh, nice.
It's also on Good Old Games. But here we go. Let's look up Battle Chess 4000. No, it was never on Amiga.
All right. Yeah, so if we're gonna get one, you're gonna get this one. But at least it would run a little smoother than the NES port. So, like I
was just thinking if they wanted to do Battle Chess, that would be something that's the same but different, at least.
Exactly. So let's see what else we got on here. Cadaver is the next one on here.
Looks like an 3D isometric game. Apparently, I think there were a lot of these on the
it's Bitmap Brothers game. Well, that's kind of cool.
Copyright 1992. So we're down. I thought the year was like all just the two lines there. 1990, 1992. What kind of year is that?
So let's see what this one looks like. I'll just jump right in here. Oh, this is definitely a like true dungeon crawler. Like dungeon crawler RPG kind of thing. That's kind of neat.
Yeah, it's funny. I just on Steam I looked up Battle Chess and there's 4 Battle Chess games on Steam.
Nice. That's awesome.
That's right. They did a remake in 2015. I forgot about that. It's like
Battle Chess?
Yeah.
Nice.
God Should Be on the Cart. Another Bitmap Brothers game.
Yeah. Well, and if it's in this list on here, let's see as we go along. So it's spend too much time. You get California games.
I'd say pass on it because we're gonna get it on the C64, and that's already going to be the second version of it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I would low likelihood on this one. So we're just gonna.
Plus it
looks like.
Yeah. Plus it originated on the C64 anyway, so
yeah.
I'd rather have that version anyway.
Dragon's Breath, huh?
This I have.
What kind of game is this?
It requires you to breed dragons in order to find components of a talisman that gives you command of an entire kingdom. What?
It's a long play strategy that immediately sounds more fun than managing a Victorian train network. Okay. So can we get into the game? This seems like a lot of exposition here. And then you get this menu. This is okay. So let's go.
Oh, you have to insert disc too.
Oh wow. So this one might be a no-go because of the operations of how to play.
Well, no, that wouldn't stop them. If it's if you require a mouse, like I see they're using, maybe.
Yeah. Huh. This one looks odd, but cool looking.
Time passes. How far are you?
So this is This must be like a management or god simulator, like that kind of thing.
I don't know about that.
Village of Falsor attacks. So you're like watching.
Oh, there's the dragon's breath.
All right. Falsor prepares for battle. Falsor kills 240 people of. Oh yeah, this is definitely like a sim
game.
Yeah.
Huh. That's weird.
Yeah, it looks like it's like auto playing. Interesting.
Oh, are they going to fight each other? No.
MGB saying
It's a very long-winded strategy game.
Cinemaware games.
Yeah, I want to see Cinemaware. I mean...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sometimes you never know, right? So this one looks cool. I mean, but it's again, controls might be an issue, and like mechanics might be an issue, like loading different ROMs or whatever.
Anything being controlled.
Yeah, I don't know if like you set up stuff like in this weird menu beforehand.
Yeah, it seems like that's what was happening.
Like
you see some icons at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, so like you're like going to different places, and then all of a sudden it's and now the things happen. Strange. So we move on. We got F-16 Combat Pilot. Looks like your flight simulator kind of dealy. We've had some of those types of games in the past, on various collections. Depends on how complicated things are. You know what I mean? Like if it's you need all of the buttons because it's true simulation, and you have to hit X, Y, Z in order to play. That would break it out for me. What's going on, Rigatoni? What's going on?
Developed by Digital Integration. Released in 1989.
This is a Combat Pilot you're talking about?
Yeah, this game, F-16 Combat Pilot. I don't know about this. I'm not really into flight simulators. The only flight simulator I actually only liked was Chuck Yeager's Combat Trainer, I think, on the Commodore 64.
Yeah.
And the only thing I used to do in that game was take the experimental plane up as high as I could, usually out of the altitude, and then dive it right into the ground and see if I could pull out.
Nice. That's those are definitely things to do in those simulation games for sure. I loved Red Baron. That was my favorite like sim kind of game. I loved like the old school, biplane, triplane kind of thing, where you're doing like all these loops and dogfights and all that kind of stuff. It was cool. That was a neat game.
Yeah,
Stevie Graphics says some flight sims are just a pass. Yeah.
I mean, just watching it doesn't look too exciting to me. I mean,
there's not a lot happening. There's not a lot.
Combat flight sims, but yeah, I'm not one of those either.
Yeah. Mike says,
this is his third show, and he's only been on one.
That is true. That's all right, though. We got his back. It's all good. Yeah, Dr. Bruce like next. Yeah, all right. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, let's go to kick off to. It's let's see what kind of soccer action
this
we'll get up.
Actually, looks like sensible soccer in a way.
Yeah, I mean, you got the top down. Ooh, look at that. That's fast. That's real fast.
Speaking of which,
I don't know if they're playing it.
Soccer start on the Amiga.
I don't know, man. I mean, if the gameplay is that quick, that's pretty cool. I don't know if it's too hectic, but
I'd be fine with this, to be honest.
That looks fun to play. I mean, a lot more action than the flight sim we were just looking at. That's for sure.
Yeah, Sensible Soccer was originally released for the Amiga and Atari ST. So
used to have this on Game Gear, and enough for the games already.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
but,
you know that if it's in the list, this is happening. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna put some virtual money on the table right now, saying
Yeah,
that
like
this is
if
a
it's
thing you can
possible, if it's possible to put a soccer game on a cartridge, they
they're
might
gonna
just
do
do
it. It's gonna happen. I'm just saying. So, and if it isn't, like if they just, that's surprising. This one looks cool though. I like the fact that it's fast action.
Yeah, I mean, this actually looks pretty good to me, but that's only because it looks like sensible soccer.
Nah, yeah. Well, I mean, you hope that it plays that well, right? So let's keep going on here. We got Paranoid 90
A Paradroid.
or Paradroid. Ooh, this one looks kind of neat.
I've heard of this game. I've never played it. So, you know what? I've heard of this game. I think I hear a lot of remixes, video game remixes for this game.
Retrieving
I
first.
don't think I've ever seen it.
Let's see.
Let's see here. Yeah, it's. I'm guessing you're controlling that little ball there.
Yeah.
Attempting. Oh, so you're actually transferring yourself into different machines. It looks like you've got to reprogram yourself into it somehow.
Wow, this looks neat. I would check this out. That's cool. It's like a action puzzler almost.
It's reminding me of Bomb Squad.
Yeah, right? Wait, is there an opponent? Is someone trying to like counter hack you?
I don't think so.
There's something going on.
This seems like a one-player game. Oh, this was originally released on the Commodore 64. Huh.
Hey, that's right.
That's probably why I've heard so much music from it.
Transmission terminated. This looks cool. Yeah.
You get the option to control some rogue droids for a short time, taking advantage of their superior weaponry to complete your aims. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I would say this is one of those types of games that you would see on a collection because it's just weird enough to, like to gain, like to make you want to just hit the button. You're like, oh, let me just see what's going on with this game. I would definitely be into this one.
It seems like the type of game that somebody would, pop in the Evercade. They select this game, and then control it for play for a little bit, not understand how to play it, and then stop playing it and never go back to it.
That runs the risks for sure. Oh, well, here we go.
Now we need to get Pinball Dreams and Pinball Fantasies onto the Amiga collection. Now I know Pinball Dreams was the only one that was on the A500, but there's actually a trilogy. Pinball Fantasies, I think, was the second one. I don't know if the third one was on the Amiga, but I had Pinball Fantasies. I played a lot on DOS though, but I played that a lot. So I would like to see all three of them, basically, if they're all three of them are on there.
Yeah.
Let me look up. I know Pinball Dreams, Pinball Fantasy. I can't remember what the third game was though. Digital Illusion. Oh, Pinball Illusions.
Pinball Illusions.
And it was Amiga. So yeah, get all three of them on there.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. I mean, this is definitely one of those ones that it's like, okay, well, you've seen it in other things. This could be something that could happen. Like this, you could see this happening. Which is cool.
We've got a game kind of like that in Psycho Pinball. This I think is before that, and I think that these games would play better than Psycho Pinball. All
right. Well, and I like the way the Psycho Pinball played, so if this plays even like either tighter or better, then I'd be into that too.
Yeah, sure. I remember it being very fun to play. At least Pinball Fantasies, the 4 tables that were in that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, these are going to be good if we do get them.
Nice. Very cool, very cool. And you're right, Dr. Freeman, that, plenty of stuff to make a good card already so far, for sure. Oh, they did Pinball Trilogy for the Amiga CD32. Nice. Very cool, very cool. So, all right, so let's go on here. Project X looks like a shooter here. And it's Team 17. So that's another theme. There's a lot of Team 17 games on this A500. So that could mean, like this could be the epics of the Amiga collection, right? Get a whole bunch of Team 17 stuff.
That's what I'm saying. They should just make a Team 17 Amiga collection.
Yeah. This one looks cool. all sorts of different power ups, and
yeah, get a shoot 'em up in there.
Why not, right?
Some people would complain, another shoot 'em up, because again, I'm playing the Irem and Topa.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of stuff. I mean, but even the Toa playing collections, right? I mean, there's shooters, and did you like some? I heard you like some shooters, so we put a shooter in your shooter, right?
Yeah, and then there's like the Commodore 64 collection, or shooters in that one.
Yeah,
like for their collection, we didn't have a shoot 'em up in it.
Right. Well, I mean, but
the Worms collection didn't have a shoot 'em up.
Yeah, that's right. So, but why? What let's just keep it rolling, right?
But you know what? It's classic. It's a classic genre, so why not?
Yeah. Want crack out for the next 64 cart? Yeah.
Yes.
Team 17
crack out. Gotta get crack out. I want to see crack out. Who made crack out?
So this is so that one's pretty cool. So it's a shooter, so we know what we're seeing here.
Gremlin made crack out. I didn't.
Gremlin made crack out, huh? Let's see. What is Quack? A little like action platformer kind of thing.
Yeah, platformer. Amiga platformer.
I'll take this. That's definitely. This sounds. This is almost cool enough where it's like, oh, you know what you'd wind up almost seeing this as like an indie, right? But it's
you know what? Think about it. If somebody thought about like how we look at indie games now. Like back then, wasn't like every game an indie game?
Right. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, a lot of these, there was like, 1-2 seat, development teams, right?
Yeah. I mean, even the games that were published by Electronic Arts were,
right.
People were just people that, a couple people that made the game, and Electronic Arts just happened to publish it.
Yeah. Just a handful of people. And then, that's just how they got distribution. Right.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, this one looks fun. This is cool. I would take this.
I wouldn't mind seeing it.
So, all right, cool. So let's go on. I think I want to say that there's like 20 or something on here, so we can get through this list for sure.
Simon the Sorcerer.
Simon the Sorcerer. This looks just straight up like a. Yeah,
I didn't realize that we would get like Amiga CD32 games like in the Amiga collection. You know what this looks like? This looks like it has the Scum engine, like Maniac Mansion.
It really does. And you can kind of translate controls for these so that they kind of play in a handheld.
Maniac Mansion on the Commodore 64 used a joystick. It didn't have a mouse.
So I could see this possibly happening, and if they did, that would open the door where people would start, like, especially for PC collections, you'd want a Scum collection after that, right?
What this really looks like, though? It looks like the engine is the Scum engine, but the game looks like Discworld.
It does kind of, yeah.
Because it looks like Winswin, your wizard character.
Carson's excited. He would want to play some Simon the Sorcerer. It looks cool. Like I was always into those games when I was growing up, because these are some of those ones that I would play at my uncle's house on his PC, because he had some of those old school Sierra games, right? But yeah, I would play this.
You know what? If I were at Blaze, I'd be like, this game has got to be on the collection, because this one is unique. You don't see this type of game. This game hasn't been on the Evercade before. This type of game. That's
true. That is true. Yeah, open the door to more exploration by showing the different genres. And since this is a microcomputer collection, these types of games were big on computers. So
and while we're at it, give us mouse support on the Evercade VS.
Right? Yeah.
So I can plug in a USB mouse.
There's plenty of slots on the front of that thing. You could do it. The voice.
Oh, really? Arnold
nice.
Rimmer. Yeah, nice. Cool.
That is pretty cool. The CD32.
Yeah, this would have to be the one CD game they would put on the
Oh yeah, because if it did have a version that had that kind of stuff, you'd have to include it, right? So that would be kind of cool.
It doesn't seem like there was a standard Amiga version. It seems like it was only on the Amiga 32, but let me look that up.
In the meantime, we know we know about the speedballs.
Okay, it was on the Amiga. It was on MS-DOS. It was on Amiga CD32. But give us the CD32 version.
Mm-hmm.
Now, okay. Now here's Speedball 2. I would like to see this one, even though we already got it.
Mm-hmm.
But that was the Genesis version.
Right.
I know a lot of people liked it. I didn't. But I'm wondering if the original version on the Amiga is better. I've heard it was better. I want to like the game, so I'd like to see this.
Jason seems to agree with you here. The decent version of Speedball 2. Yeah, I mean, I think it would be okay, but just just one, right? We don't need to have like all the Speedballs wind up showing up if there was multiples on Amiga.
You know what? If
just give me one, and
if there's a
C60,
if there's a C64 Collection 3, I want to see the Commodore 64 version of Speedball on that.
Oh, Speedball 1.
That was only because that was the version I played.
Got it. Nice. That's good stuff. And they said almost everything was better on Amiga. Yeah, I mean,
if you think about it, all these games that we've already gotten that were originally on the Amiga, but we got like the Genesis versions instead. Almost everybody was like, "Why didn't we get the Amiga version?"
Right, that is very true.
This one we've got to have this one. I had this on the Commodore 64, and even on that was fun. So we got to have this one.
All right,
on the Amiga.
This is pretty.
This is a must. I think we must have this one on Amiga Collection.
Huh?
Have you played this before?
No, I've never played it.
They lift your car up onto the track, and the track is all elevated.
No way.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And you've got to pay attention to your speed too, because even though you may make jumps,
if
you land too hard, you'll wind up cracking the frame of your.
Oh wow!
You could at the top of the screen as this guy plays, you might see a crack form across the top, and if it reaches all the way to the other side, your vehicle's just disabled. Plus, you have turbo boosters, and then when you activate them, you can see the flame shoot out. Of the engine.
That's crazy.
And I played this on the Commodore 64, and it was really fun. And this is a more colorful and has a smoother frame rate than the Commodore 64 version I played. So this is a must on the Amiga.
Wow. Yeah, I know. This is looking rad. I'm definitely into this.
Yeah, this is great. And you can't deviate from the track. You can just fall off. You'll crash. You'll lose time. They will lift. You'll lose. You'll crack your frame a lot, but they will lift you back onto the track.
Huh. All right. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, man, this is a great game.
Yeah, this great game. Great game. Oh, going back to the Speedball, all you need is that.
Okay, give us the Speedball.
Strong hard driving. Yes, some strong hard driving vibes right here. If I can't get hard driving, we get this one. I'll be happy with this, I guess.
Stunt car driver. Yeah, Speedball 2 and Simon the Sorcerer. Those three, I think, that we've seen so far have got to be on the cartridge.
Yeah. No, I'm all about this one. That's awesome. All right, let's see. I think there's only a couple more here.
Supercars 2.
Supercars 2. What do we got on this?
This looks like another overhead racing game based on what I saw in that thumbnail, but looks like 2-player.
Let's see. Oh yeah. Okay. A little slower, but kind of cool.
Honestly, I don't know why. I'm more interested in this one than the other one for some reason. But who's to say that this one?
There's cars blowing up. That's kind of cool. I'm all right. I'm okay with. Yeah, I'm okay with a car blowing up.
I don't know. Either one. Supercars. What happened to Supercars 1?
Right. Exactly. That's neat. That's a neat one. All right. So I would take that. And then you got Chaos Engine. Of course, we had that on the Bitmap Brothers collection. This would be. I would say this would be a lower on the. I know it was the.
I would say that, but I don't know how much better the Amiga version is than the Genesis version. I don't know if anybody could speak to that in the chat. Yeah. Is this game worth it to get it again if it's that much better than the version we already got?
Yeah. I mean, for me, it would be okay. I mean, I like the Genesis version. I mean, it's the only one that I played. So if this one is better in some significant way, okay, I'm all right with it. But what site was this on, Dr. Freeman? It was on gamingretro.co.uk is the list of all of the A500 mini games.
Going back just a little bit, that Supercars 2, that was a Gremlin Graphics game.
Oh, okay. So there's some more connections, making it more of a likely possibility. We got the Lost Patrol. What kind of game
From
is
this thumbnail already, I don't want to play it.
Well, this definitely looks like a tactical kind of game here.
I tell you what, instead of this, put on Cannon Fodder for the Amiga.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like it's almost like that other game.
This reminds me of an Apple II game for some reason with these pictures.
Yeah,
just a higher more colorful version of what I'd see on the Apple IIe.
Yeah.
I'm having flashbacks of computer lab now in grade school.
So it says the console version is actually completely fine for Chaos Engine. So okay.
And we don't need to get Chaos Engine.
Yeah, I mean, I would leave it off, and get another room for another game. Maybe not this one though, because this one's seeming like it's way mouse controlled, real slow play. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I can't see this one. This one will stay lost.
So let's say the Sentinel.
The Sentinel. It sounds like a TV show. The Sentinel.
A 1987 Firebird game that stared at me from the pages of Commodore User.
First-person strategy.
First-person strategy, huh?
I'd say pass on this one.
This one looks really weird. Very strange.
I think this takes he's saying it's way ahead of its time, which makes me think it'd be very difficult to play.
Well, it looks like there's also a lot of mouse action happening.
Yeah.
So that'd be real difficult to control.
Because this is the
I
type
see.
of game.
You know what? I think I've seen this game somewhere.
Really?
Yeah. The more I'm looking at it, I think I'm almost positive I've seen this on like somebody who's like playing this on a video or like did some kind of feature on it or something like that. I'm pretty sure I've seen this.
This looks like the type of game you simply cannot pick up and play. It looks like it seems like a game you have to study a manual, like a 50-page manual to play.
Right.
I don't.
Well, yeah, this might be a little too complicated, but it says Sentinel is bizarre but strangely addictive. Yeah, I can't remember who played this, but somebody I watch did something on this game, and I was like, wow, that's kind of fascinating. But I don't know if I don't know if the Evercade, it was on 3DO. Okay, yeah, I just don't know if it'll translate.
You're controlling a telepathic robot in this game.
Wow. All right. It kind of makes sense because you're like picking up things and moving them around.
Where the hunt begins. What are you hunting for?
I don't know.
The synthoid itself cannot move across the level. Instead, it can look around, accumulate energy by absorbing the objects that are scattered around the landscape, create stacks of boulders, insert synthoid shells, and transfer its consciousness form from one of these clones to another.
Huh.
So that's how you travel. You absorb things in the environment in order to create boulders to create a new Sentinel that you can then transfer your consciousness into.
Oh, all right. Interesting. That's an interesting thing. I don't know about this. No, it's
I don't understand what the goal of the game is, though.
Yeah.
Like, are you supposed to get somewhere?
Not sure. So let's see. Is there any? Oh, here's some action in this one. Titus
the Fox.
Okay. A little action platformer, a little mascot platformer action.
Right. I'd say this game doesn't look great, but put it on anyway.
Titus the Fox, yeah. I mean, as soon as it was like, oh, it's an action platformer. Okay, done.
You know what? If you're gonna choose one platformer from this list, though, pick the other one, not this one. It doesn't.
Yes, yeah, for sure. But this one it's looking pretty cool. You know,
it looks pretty rough to me.
It does. The controls look a little jank. I'm not gonna lie, but because it looks like it's hard for the player to actually move.
What
You
the
know what I
hell
mean?
was he doing there? He looked like he was. I mean, that must be a frame rate
Yeah,
thing.
it's like it's just crawling on the ground or something. It's like so weird. It's very strange. Oh, I got a Henry.
Looks like
Hang
a
on.
headache to me. No,
All right. Yep. No worries.
looks like a headache to me. Yeah.
Yeah. Looks better than Zool. Oh man.
You know
ouch.
what? I agree. I if it wasn't for having to collect things in Zool, I'd probably
Then-
like Zool more.
Then it'll be okay. Yeah. So all right. Well, so I would say this is quirky enough for it to be on an Evercade cart for sure. So I would say yes. The possibility is high that we see maybe this. Of course, we get worms.
Put Worms on it. That's another.
I mean-
That's the fourth game that's a must to put on. I know we got a Worms
Yeah.
collection,
Yep.
but this is the original.
We got
So
Worms
I-
Director's Cut. Anyway, why not? Right?
Yeah, Worms the director's cut. Put it on there. Oh,
So-
look at that! I didn't know this version zoomed in and out.
Huh.
No other version of Worms I know of does that.
That's kind of cool. That's definitely neat. Hi, buddy. Coming on in.
Yeah, this is a must. I mean, I
Yeah.
know a lot. Some people, if you didn't like the Worms collection, you're not going to want to see this on it. But put it on it.
For sure.
Yeah, put RMGB. Put Worms on it just to annoy Pete.
Just to annoy Pete.
If for no other reason, do it to annoy Pete.
You know, again. Yeah, game. Oh, you want to go? You want to go down here? Here. You go down here, and you grab this. Here, you can grab this. Here, grab this.
But yeah, I'm definitely into Worms. I mean,
Yeah.
you know what? One of these days, I have a lot of the Worms games I bought off of Steam. I haven't actually booted them up to play them because I'm afraid
Yeah.
if I do, I'll never stop.
Right. No, I would take it. I would take it.
Yeah, I take it for sure.
Yeah.
It may be
Absolutely.
the original version, not the latest and greatest, but I think I'd still prefer to play Worms Armageddon, the PlayStation version, over that one. But it's just the original version, or at least the director's cut of the original version.
And I can agree with you too. I think you know, I would go with Armageddon over any other version of Worms, but I think it's okay for it to appear on another collection.
And you know, the PlayStation version of Armageddon isn't even the best version of that. I mean, you have the loading times, and there's some features that aren't in it, but still, it's fun. It's still fun enough to play.
Yep. You know, and then you have you just I love Worms, Buddha Zool. No good face.
I don't think I'd be happy or sad if they put Zool on it. To be honest,
Nice.
I'd be like, okay, let's play the original version and see if it's better than the Genesis version, which I think it is. I think this one controls a lot better, from what I've heard, than the version we already got.
Yeah. Well,
But,
I mean, I would I think you're right about that. And if there was a better controlling version of the game, I would still take it, but this is all with Flan.
I'd say it. I mean, if this is the best version of Zool, why not give us the best version of Zool, even if it isn't great?
Yep. Yeah, no, I mean, I would
But
say
it has to be great. People really like Zool. There was enough to come out with a remake or reimagining or something a couple years
and it
ago.
got a sequel, didn't it?
Something. Well, Zool's got there's a sequel. There's at least a couple sequels, at least.
Yeah.
So people like this game.
Yeah,
And it
Zool
must
2.
be because not because of the Genesis version, but because of maybe this version.
Right. Yeah, no, I would agree. I think I played some kind of like other version that got ported somehow to a different, like a computer or something like that. And that's how I first played it, back in the day. But
I kept hearing about this game, but I never had the desire to play it, to be honest.
Yeah. So I mean, again, I would say probably low likelihood that it's involved in a collection, but you just never know. I can't wait for Kremlin 2. And Dr. Freeman performs James Pond. Yeah. James Pond.
Hey,
I saw some videos about that too.
instead of a Gremlins 2, just if you're gonna make a Gremlins 2, just put the Amiga Gremlin games on it. I'm sure those are probably the best versions of the Gremlin games.
That is very true. That is very true. So, but so oh man, like so what it's what happens when you give me lists, right? My lists just eat the entire show. But like so those were on the A500. Those are the 25 games that were on the A500 listed. So that's Zool, Worms, Titus the Fox, the Sentinel, Lost Patrol, Chaos Engine, Supercars 2, Stunt Car Racer, Speedball 2, Simon the Sorcerer, Quack, Project X, Pinball Dreams, Paradroid 90, Kickoff 2, F-16, Combat Pilot, Dragon's Breath, California Games, Cadaver, Battle Chess, yep, ATR, Artorian Racing, Arcade Pool, Another World, Alien Breed, Special Edition 92, and Alien Breed 3D. Those were the ones that were on that. So I would say, like it's not a bad mix to pull from. And if we see and have any one of those confirmed from the ones that I would say are high likelihood, I'd be pretty happy, especially after seeing that that super what was it, the super stunt
Stunt Car Racer. You know what's funny?
Yeah.
As I looked that up just to see who made it, because I didn't know who made it. It was a Micro Style, but they put the box art there, and there's something that mystifies me about the box art, because at the bottom of the big box art it says Micro Style, and I guess their slogan they put next to their name, and their slogan was "Games for Adults." Why did they put that on the box if it's just a driving game?
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, as a kid, I'd be like, it's a roller coaster with a huge car with an engine in it.
They're like, you see games for adults, and you're like, is there something in this game that kids shouldn't be looking at?
Yeah. I do know the I guess
Lotus
the Chaos.
games. Oh yeah, Lotus. Yeah.
That could be a possibility. Again,
I'd like to see those.
Yeah, with the licensing too, if that could be a thing, that would be all right. So, the chaps, not the chaos.
You hate your phone, chaps.
The chaps at Blaze instead of the chaos at Blaze.
Oh, the chaos at Blaze.
Nice.
Because I was looking at his comment before that, and I was like, "What game is misspelled?"
Yeah, for sure. Oh man. So, so yeah. I mean, I'd say we're looking at possibly some good stuff this coming week when the announcement
guaranteed.
happens, so.
They'd have to try very, very hard to put out an Amiga collection that didn't have any good games on it.
Right. Yeah. That's I could agree with that sentiment after looking at this list. So, it could be good stuff, and you're going to see stuff that's not on that list, right? It's not just going to be A500 games ported, because the C64 wasn't that either.
There were a lot of games on the C64 collection that were in the C64 Mini, but there were 64 games in the C64 Mini.
Right.
I don't know if there were any games that weren't on the C64 Mini. I'd have to pull it up and look at the list, because I never did that. I never compared to see what wasn't on there, what was on there.
Yeah.
But I might have to do that just to see what game did we get on the Evercade that wasn't on that collection.
Yeah.
And it's a moot point anyway, since both the Commodore and the Amiga Minis, you could pop in an SD card and play any game you want anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to say that when we did the research the first time, when they did the announcement, and we did our Evercast, I want to say that there was at least 6 games, I think, that were on the C64 collection that were not on the C64 Mini. So and if we get a similar mix, there were 14 games on the C64 collection. So if we get 14 Amiga games, have a little under half of the list be from the A500 set, and then some other games that are not, then I'll be down with that.
I would just say there's like 4 or 5 games in that list that I really want to see on the Evercade.
Yes.
And then some extra ones like the other pinball illusions and pinball fantasies. I'd like to
For
see
sure.
those too, even though they weren't on there.
For sure.
I don't know why.
Yeah. But yeah, we all know there'll be some bangers on the cartridges, also some future. Yeah, I mean, it is the way of things for some. But I mean, it's also, even though there are those games that people just don't like. I just love them being there because you can just visit them, and it's almost like no harm, no foul. They're a part of the collection that you feel like you're getting value for anyway. You get an extra couple games that are just not that awesome. Like you play them.
That's the argument I think I was having with Ed the other day.
Yeah.
Is that he was saying that, if there's a bad game on it, it makes the quality of the whole collection goes down. And I was saying, well, what makes it better? The fact that you're saying the cartridge would be better if the game wasn't on there to begin with and you had one less game.
Right. It's no. Give me the game, even though it might not be the most amazing, because you just never know, right?
You don't know. You don't think they're substituting one game for another. Maybe it was that or nothing. So they just put it on there.
Right. Carson saying, did you guys talk about Stadium Mud Buggies yet? Really good Intellivision game. Yes, well, unfortunately, we just talked about the entire list of A500 games in the news section here.
We're not going to talk about it.
So probably, no Intellivision today.
I will actually disagree with really good.
I would say, so maybe I would remove the word good and then put ambitious in there. Like they really tried for it. I think they really did try on Stadium Mud Buggies. They really did try for something
actually
that maybe the Intellivision wasn't capable of doing, but yeah.
I'd say it's good, but there were a couple events in there that really dragged it down. Like the final one for sure. That it was that mixed everything together. Where did I put that? I put it halfway. It was halfway on my list of all the Intellivision 2 collections. But I did put it above Motocross slightly.
Okay. All right. Well, that'd be a sneak preview of what we're going to get to maybe next week. But you never know, because next week's the news. We're actually going to have what's on the collection. So it's probably just going to be Amiga.
If anything, the most interesting thing about Stadium Mud Buggies and Motocross to me is that it was made by the same guy who did probably my favorite Commodore 64 game, Racing Destruction Set.
Oh, wow. That's kind of cool. That's awesome.
And it's the same type of style of game where it's the same perspective.
Yeah. Do you think it was just maybe the hardware itself, not cooperating with what his design was?
No, I think it was slowly improved over time.
Okay.
In fact, I think Stadium Mud you know what the interesting about Stadium Mud Buggies is that game is the only Intellivision game that's also on the NES.
Uh-oh.
So knocked over something.
What are you breaking?
Hopefully you'll have some more good news on EXP.
On EXP limited editions. That's right from Sean. Hello, by the way. That's awesome.
So actually, it's interesting. I think that Stadium Mud Buggies was made after Racing Destruction Set. Now that I think about it.
Yeah. So.
But Racing Destruction Set, you can make your own tracks. Even it had lots of different vehicles. You could change the gravity.
Yeah.
Just a lot of crazy stuff in that game.
For sure. So before my young one destroys anything else in this room, I will have to go very, very shortly. Anything real quick you want to plug though, Crow?
No, I'm in the midst of stuff to create. I need to start working on the Irem arcade video and the next pinball video. That's basically what I'll be working on and off for the foreseeable future, probably forever.
Nice. All right. Well, over here, hopefully we're getting some more time on the big.
Oh yeah, I did. I actually did forget. I put up that Addams Family video not too long ago.
That's right. Yeah. So go check that out. Yes. Plug Crow Pinball Addams Family. See, there it is. Nice. So, yeah, definitely check that out. And then over here on the bacon ice cream side of things, we'll be awaiting the drop of the news. There'll be a reaction as soon as that trailer drops, of course, for the Amiga collection for sure. If there's anything else that comes out, I will be
It's
there.
probably going to be
reviews.
a trailer video, right? You think?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the reveal. Yeah.
And usually they usually like doing that on a Friday. So I would say probably Friday would be the day that I would guess. Jason, if I was a betting man, I would probably say Friday. But now that I've said that and Sean's in the chat, maybe he'll just troll me and put it out on like Tuesday or something. I don't know. So anyway, there will be
somebody will leak it and they'll have to release it then.
Yeah, exactly. So there will be stuff to talk about for sure next week. There may be hopefully will be more of us here on the cast. Ed should be able to return. Pete should be able to be back.
I don't know the odds of Ed being on his own channel
it's now 60-30 against, so you never know. So but yeah, that's how we're rolling here. But everything else, I am up against the wall again of episode 300 for real this time of Good Times with Retro Rich. So we'll see if I make it to 300 and do that live episode, or if I don't have enough time, because this Thursday is the next episode of Calling All Retro Gamers, where I'm going back into the fray if we don't have anything else, and we're playing some more Golden Axe Warrior until I finish this darn thing. And then
you know what? You've been saying that for years, haven't you?
I know, but I'm there. I
was
in Dungeon 9. It was the last one right before the end. I'm gonna finish it.
Every time you say that, I think you're gonna be done with the game. And
I know.
Like the next week you mention it again, and I'm like,
it just never happens. You should have seen that thing. I was in the dungeon. I was ready to rock. I lost all my hearts all of a sudden. And then I kept in that death loop, and I'm like, no, I'm out. I gotta go. So had Retro Possessed 9 been deleted? No, we're on his channel. We're here. So, but he'll be back. And yes, thank you, Mike and Ian and everyone else in the chat, and Sean, everybody. We will see you next week for some more Evercade goodness. Until then,
I don't know about Ed.
Yeah, I don't know. But that'll be back on Wednesday with a video. He'll have a video on the channel. He does that stuff. So, and then, of course, then Thursday, Calling All Retro Gamers. Also, later on this afternoon, Calling All Retro Gamers over on that Legends, talking about some one credit quick looks. Also, a little plug for that, too. And then that is it. So we will see you guys next time. Catch you later. Bye-bye.